Hey everyone, Brad here. I've got a Defender MPU. This is the later revision. Edward sent in for repair. He also sent in a Moon Patrol, and this was the first one I did. This board came in, was pretty dirty. It was missing the two decoders and the CPU in it. It had some previous work done on it. There was a couple ICs that looked a little suspect. Capacitors were changed. They weren't the original size, and a few other things on it. So I basically went through, put all new Molex headers on it, like I always do with the square pins on the power, the interlock for the memory protect and the video, and cleaned it up. I did go back here. It had a CR2032 and some jumpers. It was a real mess down here. Put a CR2450 in, new coin cell holder, cleaned all the battery, the ground up. I jumpered on the back here. If you look at the negative pin, it comes down. You can kind of see the outline on the back of the board. And then basically the distance between this point and the ground here is just maybe a centimeter, quarter inch or something. So I jumper it there. Works real nice. So it's clean on the front. Clean the board up. And this board also has 4164 RAM in. Apparently was using an adapter. So since I was changing the Molex header, I'll show you what I do on here. Most people cut traces on the board or all kinds of stuff, or they use one of those adapters from Arcade Shop. And but what I do on the board here, if you look at the power connector, let me turn it here. Sorry, this is a little. So this is pin 1. There's 9 pins here. So pin 1, 2, 3, 4 was the original key. That was auto cut originally. Pin 9 here is the minus 5 volts, and that routes up to pin 1 on all of the RAM locations. Originally for the 4116, they need that minus 5 volts, but on a 4164, pin 1 is NC, no contact, not used. So literally just by snipping this so there's no connection, works perfect. And then the other issue is that these RAMs are powered with 5 volts instead of 12. So pin 5 here connects to the 12 volt line in the harness. So I cut that completely off, and I keep this pin. And then right next door to that is these two pins here are the 5 volts. You can see the two gray wires here. Those are the 5 volts. So on the bottom of the board, I took some pictures if you look in the album. I just bridge this pin 5 over to 6 and 7. So now that's sending 5 volts. So when you look at the 4164 for power, ground is in the same location. You've got plus 5 volts here, which is A7, I think, address. So it just holds that high all the time. And then the VCC, the power, needs 5 volts here, and that's the one that I bridged over. And then pin 1 is NC. So it works out real well. And now you don't need an adapter. If you move this board to a different game, it doesn't matter. You can plug in the original game harness, and it runs. These new bipolars, I programmed these myself. I've got a Data IO 29B. I program these, and then I make the reproduction labels. Just a CPU I bought, a 6809E. Once I powered this thing up and had everything done, there was actually 3 bad ICs. A 7402 here, which is part of the watchdog circuit. So the thing just had the CPU held in reset all the time, so it would never do anything. So that took it out of reset. Once I got that going, I started seeing some life to the board, and then there was some RAM timing signals here. 7432 was bad, one of the gates in here, and then the 7486, again, the 2 inputs were good. The output was just sitting low all the time. So swap these 2 out and the one for the watchdog, and it's running real well. I will get this tripod set up, and we'll boot it up and go through some gameplay. Again, I have remote control on the bench, so I'll power it. Carpet rug pattern where it's doing all the RAM testing. Unit okay. And it boots right into a track mode, which indicates that lets us know that the battery and the CMOS RAM and all that's working real well. So I do have a PlayStation controller on my bench that I built a custom solution where I can configure it for different games. It's just a lot easier than keeping control panels. So I can coin it up here. And again, I'm using my ROM board, my IO board, and the soundboard that I keep on my bench. I'll coin it up. We'll do a little... In any case, you can see she's running real solid. So I'm going to let this run overnight, and if everything's solid tomorrow, this one will wrapped up, and I'll start on the Moon Patrol. Thanks for watching.